All right. Now I'm recording 6 minutes into it. Okay. So some really good juicy stuff that we just went over was love bombing and really recognizing when you're being love bombed. And that, remember, narcissistic people are very, very sly with the manipulation. So I was just sharing a story of how after I left my 22-year relationship and came here to North Carolina and was dating, I was dating somebody who was what really wanted to say, I love you very early on in the relationship. And so addressing the first sentence, the first question, excuse me, what are the signs of love bombing? My short answer to that is too much too soon. Too much too soon. Whether that's I love you, let's get married, let's get engaged, let's move in together, whatever. It's too much too soon. And you'll know this because you'll feel it in you. You'll feel it in your energy. You'll feel it inside of your body. That maybe I shouldn't be doing this, that maybe this is too soon. Maybe there's another option. But a lot of times out of desperation, we say yes. So I was just sharing the story of how when I was dating this person and he wanted me to say, I love you very early on in the relationship, and I didn't feel it at all. Eventually I said it. Also, in part of me saying that, where I was sharing with you that I was disrespecting myself, I was crossing my own boundaries. I was also people pleasing. Who's a people pleaser? Or at least a recovering people pleaser. I was people pleasing. I was saying what he wanted me to say. To please who? Not freaking me. Him. To please him. Okay, let's just say I love you. Too much too soon. Too much too soon. I really want you to get that. Too much too soon. Okay, so what are the signs of love bombing? What is considered too much attention too soon? Well, this is a double question. Too much too soon is those examples that I gave you. Like when somebody says, oh, like one date I was on, I remember, this is a different person. I swear I dated all narcissists. Not all, because the very few that I attracted that weren't narcissists, I pushed away. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, this specific person, I remember he was like, I think it was like date number 1. I think I like you too much. What? Stop with the BS lines. Ladies, you know these lines. You know it, you feel it. But again, I want you to really understand that when we're desperate for love, when we're desperate for attention, when we're desperate for an outlet, like maybe I need a place to live, to stay, because maybe your living situation sucks. When we're desperate, we will do and say things out of alignment of who we are. That's why the 4 core pillars of what I teach, self-love, truth, trust, and forgiveness, is so important. Because when you have those foundations, those core pillars, those 4 core pillars as foundations inside of you, and somebody says, well, first of all, you wouldn't even date somebody like that. But let's just say, and somebody says, I want to, let's say I love you, and you don't feel it, that's when you will stand up for yourself, have that boundary for yourself and for others, and say, I'm not ready to say that. I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'll let you know. If that even ever happens. But too often, as people pleasers, that's what we resort to. Giving in, saying yes when we meant to say no, or saying no when we meant to say yes. When you have these 4 core pillars as a foundation, self-love, truth, trust, and forgiveness, this is how you will not make the same mistakes again. Because if I truly and deeply loved myself, would I say I love you to this guy right now? No. No, I wouldn't. That's a question that you can use and use it often. If I truly and deeply loved myself, would I, and then you fill in the blank. What is considered too much attention too soon? What is considered too much attention too soon is exactly what you feel is too much too soon. So like if somebody says, I like you too much, or I really liked you from date one, you don't even know me. How do you like me already so much? How do you like me so much already? You don't even know me. And when we like somebody or fall in love with somebody, what are the attributes? What are the characteristics that we're falling in love with? If you don't even know somebody, how do you like or fall in love with somebody? You don't even freaking know them. It doesn't align. It doesn't match up. This is really important for you to understand and to really get that when it's not aligned, when it's not matching up, I'm just going to mute everybody for background noise. That's when you're out of alignment. And that's when you need to pay attention to what is this person really, what am I doing with this person? What is this? Question yourself. Question the relationship or the dating relationship, whatever it is. Question it. Ask yourself these questions. This is going to help you get your answers. If, this is really important, this is key, if you stay in the curiosity of the question. Okay. So that's just a couple of stories of my love bombing. I know with my ex-husband, there was love bombing there early on. I was 19 when we got together, and again, it was too much too soon. When are we going to have, like 2 weeks after we were, dating or seeing each other exclusively, when are we going to have sex? I was 19. I was like, what? Have sex? My first thought was, where are we going to have sex? You live with your brother. and I lived with somebody. Where are we going to have it? There's just, the thing about these questions is I really want you to tap into you, because that's where you're going to get the answers. Because I could tell you, or anybody on YouTube or TikTok can just tell you the answers. But if you're not fully engaged with yourself, i.e., the 4 core pillars, self-love, truth, trust, and forgiveness, then answering these questions is not going to help you full on. It's not. You know me. I get straight to the shit. How do you post a question? Nancy, you just do it right here in the chat. You do it right here in the chat and I'll copy and paste whatever question you have. I refuse to give you the answers that you could Google. That's just me. You're welcome. I want to give you what is needed for you to catapult your life to the next level, so that you never go through this stuff again. I've been there. I know. It sucks. It sucks. Okay, so let me know if answering those 2 combined questions was helpful and that you got it. If not, please let me know and I'll go deeper. So the 2 questions were, what are the signs of love bombing? I'm going to post them here again. Let me know if you got that. Like, give me a thumbs up or whatever. Yes. And if not, I will dive deeper into it. Yes, for sure. Okay, great. Awesome. And there's somebody else on the Zoom. I don't want to say the name because, okay, great. I might mispronounce it. Okay, great. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Okay. So now, so great. We have time for the other question, which is it possible for a narcissist to change? What do you think? Let me first get what you think. What do you think? Do you think it's possible for a narcissist to change? Let me know. Let me know in the chat or the comments if you think it is possible for narcissists to change. I would love to hear your take on it. And remember, there's no right or wrong answers here. There's no good or bad answers here. This is just information. What do you think? Is it possible for a narcissist to change? And once I get an answer, yes or no, I'll continue with answering the question. Let me know. Yeah, exactly. No. Don't count on it. Do not count on it.
Right.
Just going to mute everybody for any background noise. Overall, no, I think only a small few have the capacity to change, but I'm not sure as to the extent. Okay, great. These are great answers. I'm going to go with don't count on it. Don't count on it. Here's why. This is why part of your healing journey entails educating yourself about the narcissistic personality disorder. Okay. And not everybody who has narcissistic traits is a narcissist. I want to make that very clear. Because we all have narcissistic traits in us. We all do. I'm still unraveling the narcissistic traits in me that I picked up as a young child, growing up in a home like that, and then marrying somebody and spending 22 years with somebody like that. Because as a human, it is natural for you to pick up certain behaviors along the way. So if this person, so I want to make this very clear, if this person is a full-fledged narcissist, like they have narcissistic personality disorder, then no, there's no way that they're going to change. And here's the biggest clue of how you're going to know if this person can change or not. Do they take responsibility for themselves in any way, shape, or form? Or do they blame everybody and everything for their situation? That's how you know. Because a full-fledged narcissist is going to take zero accountability for everything in their life. Unless it's good, and then they take full accountability, right? So let me explain that. I'm going to use my ex-husband, who is a narcissist. Notice I didn't say my narcissistic ex-husband. Notice I didn't say my narcissist. Ladies, I really want you to understand that when you say anything you say after my, you're claiming as yours. Don't say my narcissistic ex-husband or my narcissist. Okay? You want to address it as, yeah, this narc, good. You want to address it as either my ex-husband or my ex, who is a narcissist. I just did copy from my upcoming masterclass that you're all invited to. And in it, when I was describing my ex-husband, I said, my ex-husband, and then next to it, I put a narcissist. A narcissist. I don't claim him. He is not mine. He's my ex-husband. That's true. He is not my narcissistic. He's not my narcissist. Okay. So let's go back to that. So if they are a full-fledged narcissist, no. And like I was saying, the blame is a huge indication. It's a huge red flag for you to pick up and to know that this person is never going to take responsibility for themselves unless it's something good. And then they're the hero. Now, if you notice narcissistic characteristics or traits in somebody, but you also see that they do show empathy for other people or compassion for other people, then that simply means, and this very well could be you too, you as well, that they just have narcissistic traits that they've picked up, but they're not a full-fledged narcissist. And that's me. I'm still, like I said, I'm still unraveling. So one of the narcissistic traits that I picked up from my ex-husband was lying, profusely lying about silly little things, lying. So, and this is why, because I saw in his world, it worked for him. The lying worked. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to use it. Right? This is an unconscious thought that came up. So when I moved here to North Carolina and I was applying for jobs. So if you don't know my story, I worked and ran my ex-husband's business, which was air conditioning and appliance, which is very lucrative in South Florida. And so because I ran his business, I fudged my resumes when I came here to North Carolina because I wasn't applying for air conditioning and appliance companies. I was applying for medical device companies like oxygen, hospital beds, companies that provide medical supplies, equipment. So I fudged it. I lied to get the job. Okay. And that was one of the behaviors that I picked up from him and used. Doesn't make me a bad person. It's just an example of how, as humans, because we're human, this is how humans do it. We pick up these traits that we see works for the other person and we use them. So that's the difference, right? If this person is a full-fledged narcissist, no, there's no changing them because everything is about them. Nothing is about anybody else. It's poor me. Nobody understands me, blah, 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 blah. It's that person's fault. Like it's this fault, it's that fault. They're always pointing the finger. They're never taking responsibility for themselves. They're never saying or even asking, like, what part did I play in this? And this was huge for me when I came out of my relationship, my 22-year relationship with my ex-husband was here's another trait I picked up. I blamed him for everything. I blamed him for the destruction of our family. I blamed him for the divorce. I blamed him for yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Here's why. Because in my mind, I said, well, I didn't cheat. I didn't give you STDs. I didn't do drugs. I didn't do, fill in the blank. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that our marriage in our family is just, it's not my fault. I was blaming him. And here's a question that really, where my energy pivoted from me blaming him for everything to taking responsibility. And here's the question. It was my first empowerment coach that I hired back in 2015, I think. And she said, well, what was your part in the relationship or in the divorce, in the dissolving of what was your part? And I remember I immediately was like offended. I was like, what do you mean? What was my part? I was literally like, and then all the things that I just shared with you ran into my head. I didn't cheat. He did that. But then I had to take a step back because I was allowing her to coach me. This is the beauty of coaching, right? I had to take a step back and lean into what she's asking me. Because as a client, me being the client, letting my coach lead me, I needed to lean into what she was saying to really figure this out. So I said, after I went over my little tiff, a little pouting episode. Not my fault. I said, well, I don't know what my part was. And then I started to look back at all of the fucked up situations I was in with him. Like the time when he attempted suicide. He was in the hospital. And he was still being a dick, even in the hospital with a gunshot wound, still being a dick to me. And was like, I need my pills. So if you know anything about my backstory, my ex-husband had attempted suicide in 2008 with our 14-year-old daughter in the next room, which immediately led to ambulance, hospital, you know, all the things. And me being the rescuer and the savior still, when it came time to the hospital and, you know, he was in the a regular room. He was on suicide watch, but it was a regular room. And he was like, and he self-medicated. That's the part I wanted to share with you. He's self-medicating. So he, I mean, even if I tell you, I don't even know the truth, but something along the lines of oxys, blues, type of pills, a cocktail of them. So anyway, so he said, I need my pills. I need my pills. They're not giving me my pills here. I need my pills. And I was always in the energy of, okay. All right, let me figure this out. Go. He's like, go home and get my MRI and you show them that I have back problems. I need my pills. Okay. So I went home. I got the MRI. And I remember so specifically saying to the nurse, and I remember feeling this way in that moment, but more so after. I remember feeling this in that moment when I was sharing because they were giving him the pills. That you can't come off of these pills like cold turkey. You have to wean yourself off. But what they were doing at the hospital, they were giving him enough medication to keep him off the edge, or just enough to where he wasn't overdoing it, where he was just getting enough. And to an addict, that's not enough. So I remember sharing the MRI with the nurse, and I remember like pleading my case to her. You don't understand. He needs these pills. I was the addict. I was like right there with him. So anyway, I share all that with you to say that I picked up narcissistic traits as well, and I had to work through them. And that if this person that you're asking about, is it possible for a narcissist to change, is a full-fledged narcissist? The answer is no, because they're incapable of loving. They're incapable of having compassion or empathy for somebody else. It's all about them and their world, and they pull you into their world. All right. So there you have it. There are the two answers. There are the three answers to the questions that you asked. And I would love, some of you on here have already said yes. Nancy, Patrice, I've already said yes to the upcoming masterclass that I'm doing. Win at Divorcing a Narcissist. Get the 3 secrets to plan a safe exit, shop for a divorce attorney, and win in family court. Ladies, I've heard, I can't even put a number on it, how many times I've heard women who went through divorcing a narcissist and lost everything. Everything, children, houses, money, everything. They lose themselves. They feel destroyed. That's what a narcissist, that's their plan. So I'm going to share with you in the masterclass the journey of what got me to start talking about this more and focusing on this more. Because if you follow me, then you know I talk about true love after toxic love. You can have true love after toxic love and after the divorce. But God spoke to me, and he wants me to help women and men in a deeper way. So in this masterclass, I'm going to share with you the 3 secrets to plan a safe exit, shop for a divorce attorney, and win in family court. Family court, Yes, you can win. Yes, you can win. But if you go in there raw and vulnerable, you're prey. You're prey. And they will fucking pounce on you like you have no idea. And they will destroy you. And it's sad. It's sad, the stories that I've heard over the years. It's the biggest sadness to the story is I was unavoidable. It didn't have to be this way. So in this masterclass, I'm going to share with you, okay, the proven formula to win at divorcing a narcissist. The formula that I've used to give to my clients since 2016. I've helped many women win at divorcing a narcissist. And to be honest with you, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in the beginning. And my clients were getting results. And it was like, wow. So since 2016, like more and more women have come to me in this situation, and happy endings. So you also get 3 bonuses in this with this masterclass when you sign up, when you join. I've covered all of the frequently asked questions that you probably have come up with. If there's another one, please let me know and I'll add it. And my guarantee to you is you have my promise that if you don't walk away from this win at divorcing a narcissist masterclass feeling loved, supported, and have a step-by-step plan in place to successfully divorce a narcissist, we'll refund your money. No questions asked. So I'm going to leave the link below. Well, you can grab it right now. I think it's done. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. You can grab that. There's that. And I'm going to put it in the Facebook comments. Here we go. There's that. If you're on my email list, you're going to get the whole thing in the email. You can look for that. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for showing up for this Tuesday lunch lessons, how to spot a narcissist in dating, how to spot a narcissist in general. And I hope that you've received a lot of value from this and that you walk away feeling empowered and like, you're welcome. And like, I can do this. I can do this. I can come out of this shitstorm I've been in, and I can attract healthy relationships in my life. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. All right, my loves, have an amazing week. I'll see you next Tuesday.